Will might have a stage 5 clinger, and Grace has some serious competition from someone in the past. Stay tuned for the Will and Grace After Show.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi, everyone. I missed you all. Aww, you were missed. Thank you. Welcome back to the Will and Grace After Show. I was not here last week. I'm so excited to be back. And I can't wait to be back and just talk to you guys about everything while I am back. But Crystal's not here today, but we'll see her next week.
Sadly missed.
But I am joined by my lovely panel, and go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, it's Mayte Carrillo here.
And it's Brendan Haley.
So it's my first show with Brendan. I'm so excited.
We're all getting to know each other now.
Yeah, you guys, he completes the family. This is amazing. And next week, it'll be all 4 of us.
Yes,
Or 5 of us. We'll see.
Oh,
Okay.
spoilers.
Right?
Ooh.
So, yeah, we are so excited to break down tonight's episode. A lot went down. But before we continue, I do want to say we have some news and gossip. We have a fun special segment. And today was a spicy episode. So, overall thoughts about this episode tonight, you guys?
Well, I was kind of freaking out over the fact that the primary cast is coupled up completely now.
Right.
Oh, you're right.
This is I don't remember the last time they all had like a
Someone,
significant
like
other.
a love interest.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked to see that they're all kind of happy. They're all working through these relationship issues, and it's just so cute.
Yeah, just busy with their personal lives.
Yeah, that's so true. I didn't think about it that way. One thing that really stood out to me was the relationship between Karen and Grace, and how Karen was being so supportive towards Grace running for office and her campaign manager. She was literally on it. I feel like she knew more info than Grace did about this whole campaign. But that was actually really nice to see them both.
And that's the thing. We see all 4 kind of with their layers, peeled away, where it's like they have more heart now.
Yeah.
They're more sentimental. They care about each other. And, to talk about Will and Jack kind of pairing up with this whole wedding situation. So we see, Jack coming in and being excited about his wedding and +1s and everything, and kind of initiating how Will doesn't have a +1.
Yeah.
Which, brought back Matt Bomber back in the picture,
Yeah.
McCoy Whitman.
And thank goodness for
Right?
that.
And how amazing is that, though? How do you guys feel him being back with Will right now in this situation as a +1?
Oh God, I love it. And I love seeing how much Will is just enjoying this. And even if it's just to rub it in front of Jack's face, like that whole segment was epic. Especially that conversation that Matt had with Jack towards the middle of that. But I love it, and I love how their chemistry is. And it's crazy how I feel like Matt really portrayed the persona of someone who has never been in a relationship before.
Oh, gosh.
And all of these like clinging moments.
the red flags.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was watching that whole portion and I was like, I see you.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Oh my God.
I've been on
really?
both sides
Right,
of that
right.
spectrum in the past.
Yeah.
And I think we all have.
Yeah.
Because that's how
Yeah.
you understand the other person. Like, you've been the clingy one.
Yeah.
Or the one that doesn't get the texts and stuff.
Yes.
Like, what? You know?
Like,
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's very conceited. He's so into himself. And I don't know how Will is taking that in, right?
See, I loved the fact that when he was talking about how, like, all of his accomplishments and
Yeah.
how attractive he is, and then he shows him the picture of himself from high school, and it's just
Same.
like a headshot from a year ago.
it's literally he looks the same.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's changed? Are you kidding me?
But also, like, how do we feel about Jack making fun of this whole situation? I don't like how he's teasing him so much.
I loved it.
Really? I just
I
like
do
be
too.
happy for him having a +1.
I mean, but all of if it's like a true friend of yours, they always give you crap about who you're dating.
Yeah.
They're always gonna have an opinion. He's just vocal about it. And the fact that he's understanding too of Matt, that whole segment of them talking to one another, it was just, I don't know, it just showed a very vulnerable side to him. And I love seeing that sort of realness when it comes to the chemistry that they all have together, and then bringing, in addition, somebody in,
But bringing somebody in and bringing +1s, do you think people put too much emphasis on +1s and going to like these events alone?
Oh, totally.
Really?
Yeah, working in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much of the culture. And weddings, I've been to 2 weddings. I can't even imagine what that's like.
Well, I have one on Saturday,
Yeah.
and I'm actually taking Crystal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Armenian wedding and she's never been.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like you kind of, it's like shamed. It's like, oh, why is she alone? So it's like it's better to bring a friend
Yeah.
and party it up than to just sit there on your phone the whole night.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially if it's open bar. Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think finally Will feels like, you know what, I'm ready to take that step and bring someone in. But I do see that he's very nervous, and I feel like he's pushing him away. Do you guys feel like he's ready for this next step with McCoy, or it's like...
I think he is, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how they play together, because when we were introduced to Matt Bomer's character this season, I didn't think he was going to be this type of character.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he came into that other episode totally different, kind of a jerk, and this is a complete change of character.
vulnerable, with an
Yeah.
open heart.
Yeah, even if it's comical, it's still vulnerable, and it's so sweet.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Will is interested in him. I don't know if I saw that chemistry that Will is deeply... I feel like Will was probably cornered, and he's like, I have to bring someone, and this is the first person I can think of, and he reached out to him. But I don't think Will is 100% committed to this relationship. I don't think he's like head over heels in love.
I mean, whatever
You know?
it is, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I feel like Will has been so lonely the past few months with these episodes, and there's people come in and go. Maybe this could be something stable for him to have
I
a love.
hope
You know what I
so,
mean?
yeah.
There's so many ways they could explore this storyline.
Yeah.
I love it, and they're just so cute together.
Oh
so
my
sexy.
God, yeah.
Well, you know, speaking of introductions, I realized I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Louiza Sharamatyan. Okay, I just want to throw that in there. And thank you.
I see you, girl. I see subtle plug.
A
Yeah.
little late, but I did it, right?
Hey, better late than never.
But speaking of introductions and good news and stuff, I know, Brendan has some great stuff to share about AfterBuzz TV.
I do. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support and your viewership. It means the world to not only Louisa and Crystal and Mayte and I, but to the entire network in general. And you should totally go over to our YouTube page and click that big old subscribe button. Maybe give us a little thumbs up. Or you could head over to our iTunes and give us some 5 stars.
Yeah.
All that love just comes back to us. And if you comment about it, you might even get shout-outed.
Yeah,
Get a
you
shout-out on the show.
Yeah.
Pardon my bad grammar.
Awesome. No, that works. And just to add on to that, we are basically a buffet of TV shows. We have every type of show. Tune in, add, subscribe. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and Brendan has a live feed right now. So if you're
yeah.
watching, go ahead and comment. And we always even ask our fans to, write down their favorite quotes and stuff, and we can, reinstate it afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love you all. So
And you're the
keep-
queen of Twitter.
Oh my God.
So Louise is always tweeting the show if you guys don't follow.
I
you know?
try. I
Yeah.
try to. I retweet whatever Will and Grace does, and I
Yeah.
plug our names in there, hoping to get a follow back. So,
Ooh.
right?
She got strategy.
Social media queen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And gosh, so okay, now on to the beefier topic of the night, which for me personally, that's what I thought. So it's a combination of Grace and Karen working together on Grace's campaign as she's running for the Interior Design Association Committee or
Right.
something like that. And how much are we loving Karen in this, publicist campaign manager vibe that she's in?
I'm jealous. I'm jealous she's not working for me.
She's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Those outfits are killer. Did you guys see Grace in that Gucci skirt in the very
Yes.
beginning?
Oh my God, I told you, I'm like, is that Gucci? Like,
Yes. I'm like,
Girl.
girl, that Gucci. And then
That-
Karen with that all
all
pink,
pink,
suit.
ruffles, oversized blazers are so in right now. Oh my gosh.
100%.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
And the dynamic, because last week we saw how she was pushing Karen to date and trying to bring her back with Malcolm. Now it's like, it's reversal where it's like, let me help you do whatever you want to do, and even if I have to be illegal about it or fishy about it, I'll do it.
Yeah, Grace was like, do what you have to do, but handle it. And the fact that what she did though, and how she paid off Val's outfit and did all of that stuff illegally behind her back, that was genius. Only Karen would do such a thing. So it was funny for me as a viewer watching it. I didn't take any offense into it or whatnot,
Yeah, I mean, and shout out to Molly Shannon. We love having you
yeah.
back as Val. I mean, how amazing
I
is she?
love her as an actress.
She's stunning.
Gosh, she's so great.
She's amazing.
I also just wanted to say I
Yeah.
loved the comparison between Grace and Val. How Val's sort of trying to be a better person and act sane, and then the flip side, Will and McCoy's just being the crazy one. It's like complimenting. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
See?
I mean, so much of it's so detailed. This show, it's like the details are on the devil. Where it's like if you think about it, it's like a whole cycle, and it just comes together.
Well, it's sitcom comedy writing, and that's like the pinnacle.
And we always talk about, like, every episode, there's not enough words to describe how amazing the writing is of the show. Like, the things that they think of, like, for last week, I just have to throw this in there, when they mentioned, you know, this is so bad, just like Fergie's performance at the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Who thinks about that? Like,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
they go back and forth about important days of the year, and gosh, I love it.
It's like relevant stuff, pop culture, things that we talk about on a daily basis,
Yeah.
and they incorporate that into the show. It makes it more realistic.
And it's
us
funny,
As,
you
and us as
know?
viewers, we're like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
And it's
So
that
funny.
coupled with like the LGBT representation that's really been like its
Yeah.
hallmark almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, wait, speaking of Val, how sneaky was it to lock her outside with the eggs and the hawks and that situation? What did you think about that? Do you feel like politicians really like do go to those extra miles to get, you know, things done?
I mean, maybe I just watched too much House
This
of Cards.
is America.
or something.
Yeah.
I was on that panel.
Oh my god!
Oh, good
Yes,
one.
my favorite show.
Yeah, well, next to Will and Grace, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course,
Yes.
of course. That's how we love Brendan.
Yes.
No,
I'm also
but-
a nerd, so.
Yeah, no, but still, like, people go through great lengths, locking her outside and everything. But it just showed also how maternal Grace is, too, caring for the eggs.
Oh yeah, she did what she had to do. Oh, that's a great point.
She was very maternal. She was, you know, covering, you know, the eggs like a crazy
She
mother.
was keeping them warm with
Well,
her butt.
I was wondering during that entire scene if that's the reason she won. Because,
Oh, of
like,
course.
I thought they were going to address it more, and they didn't really, but I was like, oh, she's protecting these baby birds. Like, that has to play well with the public.
That's exactly what I thought. Like,
Yeah.
she was getting all the amazing votes because, like, oh my God, look at her. She's taking care of the eggs.
she has a heart. She's a real person. She's not a politician.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Who wears Gucci?
Right? And Chanel and all
I
of
would
that.
too. I would too. Yeah.
Be fashionable. I
Hey,
mean, hey,
if
we
you
love
have
it.
the money,
If
do
you
it.
have the money.
I mean, just shout out though, like how amazing do they look? Like as far as their costumes, like the outfit that Karen was wearing at the campaign dinner, you know, the little shoulder pads, the
Oh,
black
yeah.
and the glitter, like the stylists on the show, incredible.
Yeah, they look even better in person.
I
don't they?
know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Brendan, you have to go to a taping.
Yeah,
I know.
we
You
should
have
really
to
look
make it
into
work,
this
yeah.
and try. All four of us should go.
Backstory, I've never been to a taping.
But you've done something on set. You want to share with our
Yeah.
fans what
I
Brendan
have.
has done?
Oh my god! I decorated the Queer Tea Lounge, which is on the backstage portion of the set.
Hello.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
And then
You were on
I
set.
you did more, I'm sure.
I mean, I definitely snuck around because I was like, oh my god, I need to look at this place.
How incredible.
You know, I couldn't take pictures, sadly, but like I got to be on their Texas set from a couple episodes ago where Karen
So
visited
cool.
the wall.
Oh yeah, we watched it. Here.
Yeah.
Such a funny episode.
So great,
Yeah.
so great. And I'm friends with Brian Jordan Alvarez, so you know,
Yes.
he also is a cast member on the show. He's the only one I've seen in person, but I am waiting for the opportunity to see Megan
Yes.
because how angelic is she?
Oh,
Gorgeous.
yeah.
So sweet too. She was so
everybody
nice.
was so sweet and very much into the chemistry that they have with the audience and involving everyone. It flew by.
I loved it. I mean, I can't wait to go again. It's long hours, but they do feed you and give you candy.
They do feed you.
And I did win a T-shirt.
You had me at there's a T-shirt?
I won
They're
the
sweet.
T-shirt.
They had like these little gifts. Yeah, and then Louisa wore it on their next tape. Yeah, it was funny.
I
It
am
was good.
into free shit.
Because I was very vocal. I'm like, I'm right here, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So he had to just throw me the T-shirt.
I needed
God.
coffee, so.
Right?
Mhm.
But, you know, speaking of Brian, can we announce that? Or do you want to do
Is it
yeah,
official?
Well,
is
I
it-
mean,
if not-
yes.
okay,
I didn't want to give any spoilers, but
Spoiler alert.
spoiler
Spoiler
alert,
alert.
we may or may not have a special guest next week.
Yes! So excited! This will be our first guest!
Yeah, someone who is actually part of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like not a veteran, not someone from
No.
seasons before,
No.
like current.
And I can say that next week is going to be big, so hold on to your hats, kids.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's an expression, but I sounded classy
you
saying
just
it.
made
So
one. That's a great one that you
Cool.
just invented today.
We understand it. We
Thank
get
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Takes one to know one. Awesome.
That's exciting. I can't wait till next week.
I mean, that's it's always fun to have someone from set, so because they just talk about the real experience, how it is working with the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think overall what this episode showed me was how friends uniting again and kind of being happy about each other's happinesses and being sad about the tragedies.
Right.
Like Karen and Grace. So
Yeah. And Jack, you mentioned this, but Jack, his conversation with Matt and how he was telling him that Will deserved to be happy.
Yep.
And he was looking out for him. And Will was even shocked knowing, like, wait a minute, you talked to Jack? What did Jack tell you to
Deep
convince
down, everyone
you?
is just mushy and sweet.
Right?
And I think we saw Jack in a different light. We always see Jack kind of be the giggly one that doesn't take anything serious, but he apparently had a one-on-one with McCoy.
Yeah.
And now I kind of see him in a different light.
I call him Matt. It's McCoy.
With
Yeah.
McCoy. I just love how he was on the phone talking shit about, him when he's like sitting right there. But I do have to say, I did love like the metaphor of how, love is kind of like cotton candy. Like you eat so much and then you feel so bad. It's like you have to take it slow or else you're going to get a stomach ache. So
Yeah.
I love all that.
Yeah, that's way too real.
So real, and that's why we
never
love the
know.
show. But
Yeah.
speaking of real and funny and stuff like that, let's go into our special segment. And what our special segment is we write down a few of our favorite quotes from the episode, and we always have so many, but we decided as a team we're gonna keep it to 2 per person.
Yeah.
It's always hard.
It's so hard because it could just be the full script. And chat members, if you have any, please write it in there, and we will say it, and we will also shout out your name as well. So let's see. I mean, I will go first.
Okay, Louisa.
I will go first with my 2 favorite ones. Okay, so mine is when Val was in the elevator with Grace, and they were talking about like nurses and cats and stuff like that. And then Val goes, Grace, cats can't be doctors, only nurses. Like, amazing.
I love cats.
I love
Just
cats.
side note, it has nothing to do with it. I just love cats.
I love the wordplay. They make things that are so normal funny.
Yeah.
They make us see things in a different light. So that was brilliant. And oh my gosh, this is just so sad. When Jack was emphasizing how Will is single when he was giving him the wedding invitation.
Oh God, yes.
He says, Will Truman +0.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
That's horrible.
That's so sad. It's funny and sad.
I would
but
probably do it to someone
Yeah,
I was
you
close
would?
with. Well, like as a joke.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
It's like my admiration and love for
Yeah.
them.
And deliver it to them personally,
Right?
right?
Yeah, so I can give them a hug and just be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry.
So sorry you're still single while I'm getting
right?
married.
Seriously,
Yeah.
well, I have the ring on.
Yeah.
Mayte?
Okay, I have quite a few, but 2 is Jack was telling this to Will. No one's rubbing anything in your face, which is why you are at the singles table.
Amazing.
We were just getting savage.
Yeah,
Right.
she just snuck
Oh,
that
yeah,
in, and
savage.
it's like, okay, I see you.
Hell yeah.
And then McCoy said, okay, when he was crying to Will, and he was like, okay, McCoy broadcast faced, and he just became
Yes,
so
I heard
serious.
that
Yeah.
one too. Yeah.
It's like we all do that. Even before we start a show, we're giggling and laughing.
Oh,
I'm
girl.
crying right now, and AfterBuzz taught me how to keep it under wraps.
There you
Oh.
go. See how much
His
you
eyes
teach us
are
after
watery.
It is just like that
Yeah.
scene from Get Out, where it's just like the single
Oh gosh.
tear.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And scene.
Thank you. All right, so my 2 quotes of the night. The first one is when McCoy was talking with Will in the beginning, and he shows him his picture from high school, and he's like, exactly. I've always been this gorgeous.
Love
He
it.
really does look gorgeous.
He doesn't age.
Yeah.
He's
So
gorgeous.
beautiful.
perfect.
Oh.
Like I don't
Yep.
even have words to
Yeah.
describe how amazingly gorgeous he is. But my second one is also a McCoy speech, or not speech. I'm sorry, I'm not going to monologue. It's a McCoy quote after he's recovered from crying and everything, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You peeled back the first layer."
Oh, I have that
can't
one
wait
too.
to show you all the
Love
others.
it. Like an onion. Keep on
Like an
peeling.
onion. Oh, come on. Yeah.
That's
TMI.
a good one. I'm definitely gonna use that line for someone. When I'm dating, like, oh, that's you peeled out
Is
the
that
first
something
layer.
like you guys do? Because I definitely do, where I'll like take lines from shows and I'm like, I'm gonna use this in my life.
Oh no!
You don't know. I feel no, I don't. I feel like they might think it's too corny, or is
Yeah.
that just how I think? How does it work for you?
I mean, I am corny.
I love it.
So, like, if you meet me, it's just gonna
Own
be
it.
dad jokes
Own
and
it.
puns
Yeah.
and just stupidity.
So I just have to say, real quick, what's your favorite movie line that you use on dates, or just
God.
something? Just give me one.
Oh, this is gonna, like, we're going right to,
We're
past
doing it.
corn to the cheese.
It's so fun! I love that.
Spill it,
Yes. To the cheese. I'm using that. Okay, go.
I'm gonna quote Nancy Meyers' The Holiday, which is
Oh, I love that movie.
I love
it's
that
a movie. I love it, but it's also like, whoa.
Yeah.
But there's a quote in it that Kate Winslet has at the end of the movie where with Eli Wallach where she's like having her moment of empowerment and she's like, I like corny. I'm looking for corny in my life. And I'm like, you know what? Me too. That is going on my dating bios. It's
Yeah.
going on my Twitter handle.
Instagram bio right
yes,
there.
yes.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
looking for corny. It's true.
I
you
love
can't find
it.
anybody who can admit that too.
Yeah.
If you do find someone, it's like a match made
And
in
that's
heaven.
seriously the best movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ever.
hard second would be Twilight's infamous, you better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Oh!
I haven't even seen Twilight.
Well,
haven't seen
we
know.
love
I've
you,
seen
Brendan.
grabbing
You're,
him.
you're a keeper.
Thank
yeah,
you.
you are great.
You're a corny keeper.
Right, a corny keeper. So that wraps up the special segment, but now, as promised, we have some news and gossip for you. Yes. Okay. So we'll have Mayte start with her news.
oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it was great stuff. So I can't wait to share that.
All right. So, you guys know this past weekend was definitely the Oscars. And we have our beautiful Megan Mullally, yes.
I love it.
Oh
She
my
debuted the
God.
short hair at Vanity Fair's Oscar party. What do we think?
This is definitely a toot for me.
Yes.
I love it. It's so fierce. The
I
whole
love-
cheetah print,
Yeah, the whole look.
coral
She
lips.
looks like a Marvel character.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I love the short hair look on her. I think it gives her such a sophisticated edge.
It's very sharp. It's sharp but edgy. It also gives us a different Karen at all. Like, that's not at all who she is on Will and Grace.
No. Can we see Karen rock this though? Do you guys think?
No.
No?
Karen, I want Karen with her beautiful, like, presidential wife hair. The blow dry and everything. Like the Jackie O hair.
Yeah.
That's Karen.
But just to know she looks this amazing, and she's tried various hairstyles throughout the years, but this one is definitely one of my favorites.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And speaking of Oscars, I do want to say I did find this great article on Pride.com, which Brendan works at.
Oh yeah, surprise.
How cool is that?
so cool.
This great article I did want to share, and it's about the LGBTQ community, and this show, Will and Grace, does so much for that community, and we always try to find some great news to highlight or anything that's really going on. And so this is titled 10 Straight Actors Who Won Awards for Playing Queer Roles. So Hollywood loves queer stories, but apparently not queer actors. So I'll just, go down the list of the actors who won an Oscar for playing their queer roles, but themselves are not queer.
Yeah.
Just like Sean McCormack. I'm sorry. Oh gosh.
Oh, Eric McCormack,
McCormack
yeah.
is not queer, but he plays Will. So Olivia Colman for The Favorite.
Oh yeah.
Sean Penn for Harvey Milk and Milk. Hilary Swank for Boys Don't Cry.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Charlize Theron for Monster. Annette Bening and The Kids Are All Right. Mahershala Ali, Green Book,
Oh.
second Oscar.
Oh, love that.
And he
yeah.
was on House of Cards, by the way. Mahershala
That's
is so
right.
beautiful. I just can't. Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh yeah.
Darren Criss for The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story. Nicole Kidman for The Hours. Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, again,
Yes.
Oscar winner.
It's such
And,
great.
and how do we feel about that? That these Hollywood, like, they use their stories, which is great, but why not cast gay actors?
Well, I think there's a lot of it's a lot of the culture that's sort of been present even since Will and Grace went on air for the first time. It's this being LGBT and in entertainment, you sort of have to be careful how you represent yourself,
Right.
at least in the eyes of the industry. Otherwise, you might lose a fan base
Right.
in the Midwest or somewhere where it might not be as tolerant or open-minded. but things have changed since then, and I think we're seeing a lot more representation now.
Awesome.
And there are a lot more opportunities. Like Love Simon was a huge moment for the community because we've never had a mainstream gay film like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it also has to do a lot with those that the writers, you know, and everybody who writes these scripts to incorporate people from, you know, all different backgrounds and LGBTQ, and to have these people be represented the way that they should be. So if they have the opportunity to cast a member of the LGBTQ, they should definitely take that advantage and do it, as opposed to choosing somebody else just for the hell of it, or because of like their name of who they are, you know?
Well, good stuff. And, you know, speaking of Eric McCormack, I know Brendan has some news about him as well.
I do. Our lovely, lovely Eric is actually going to be the presenter at the Canadian Screen Awards. And he's going to be giving out the Icon Award to, I believe, children.
The kids there. Yep.
Yeah.
And he's from Toronto. I didn't know that he was
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know.
Yeah, is that cool?
God, I thought he was from New York, actually.
It said Toronto based. So yeah,
surprising.
right? There you go. He's so cute.
That's why he's so nice.
Love it.
Also, you guys, can you hear me in the booth?
Yes, we can.
A really interesting conversation on casting non-LGBTQ for these roles, but I do know in the case of Bohemian Rhapsody, they spent over 4 years searching for someone who could play Freddie Mercury. So I do really believe in proper representation. A lot of times we totally miss the mark and cast someone who's just not, they just don't understand what it was like to be trans or gay or any of that. But in certain, I think there are exceptions to cases, but it shouldn't be like the overall.
That's awesome.
Agreed.
Thanks for that, Steph. She's our producer on the show tonight. That's great info.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Proper presentation of the show or of the actress or actor and story. Awesome. Thank you. So I think that wraps up the news for the show, but we do have some fun predictions coming up, you guys. So let's see.
Ooh.
Awesome. You want to go first, Mayte? You're looking at your notes.
I am. I'm looking at it.
She's ready.
I definitely think Jack's wedding is approaching soon, and I think there's going to be a huge scandal where probably Jack has cold feet. And they're going to be dealing with all of those emotions, and there's going to be this whole thing before he walks down the aisle.
Amazing.
If he does.
Interesting. I think he will.
I hope
about
that.
I hope so, too.
We've been
He
thinking
deserves
about
love.
his cold feet. Yeah.
Well, sort of piggybacking on that, I think that maybe we might get like a sex scandal at the wedding.
Oh,
Tell me
this
more.
is
What do you
juicy.
think?
I don't know. I feel like based on intense character development this season.
Look, I love him. I'm dying.
I think that Will and McCoy might get like caught in the closet or something. Like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Getting
Like
their
that.
cotton candy on?
Getting their oh gross.
That's a phrase that was born today. I love it. Give their cotton candy on.
You know,
Okay.
or we might get another proposal. You know, remains to be seen. But maybe it's a situation where they want to draw it out, and like Estefan has to go back to Spain, or like Alec Baldwin, you know, and the CIA or the FBI, you know, takes over the wedding. Like, there's definitely some sort of drama that's going to go down.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's good.
I mean, I have to add on to my taste where I always feel like Jack might have some cold feet as far as marrying Estefan, but I just want to talk more about like Grace and Noah for a second. Where was Noah? Like, I know Noah is gonna come with her as a +1, but I want to see more of him. I want to see that be a thing.
Yeah.
Do you think his daughter is going to come with them?
No, as a third, like
I
a third
hope
wheel.
so.
That would be so cute.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Where are they? They're so MIA. I want to see more of Noah, you know, and Grace just, you know,
It's
as a
bubbling
girlfriend.
up. It's going to explode. We're going to get like all of them for the last couple of episodes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that idea.
And Karen and Malcolm, I really want that to work. They're just so sexually into each other, and like the way they just described their sexual scenes last week. I know I'm a bit much when it comes to that.
No, I love it.
But
I'm
it
just
was
like
so-
flashing back to
The
it.
scissors, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, let's not even go there.
It's that chemistry.
Yeah.
When you have that chemistry
When
with
you
someone,
have
it's
it,
just
You
It
hold on
happens.
to it, unless they're an F-boy. If they're F-boy, you go bye. Sorry.
If they're F-boy, you let it go.
Words to live
LA,
by.
right? LA, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Gosh, and then so I'm excited for next week. And again, once it's confirmed, we'll fully like publicize that on social media.
Yeah, but get ready.
Yeah, get ready. This was such a fun show tonight. I love having you on.
I love being a part
you're
of this
amazing.
lovely family.
Thank you. And next week we'll have Crystal joining us. But in the meantime, where can everyone find you on social media, Brendan?
Well, you can find me, Brendan Haley, at Brendan Haley on Instagram and Brendo Hales on Twitter.
There you go.
Hey guys, I'm Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at This Is Mayte.
And you can find me on Instagram at Louiza Sharamatyan and at Twitter at L Sharamatyan. Until then, we will all see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.